Welcome to My Psychic Connection. Here we are again, Tuesday night, and it's me, Innerji The Metaphysical Crone, and I'm here with lots and lots of information tonight around what's going on in the sky. We're looking at all sorts of things tonight, including our theme colour of silver, but more about that later. Now, I wanted to start off by telling you something new that is happening here at My Psychic Connection. We are running a very special competition, and it's a competition about your reviews. And the whole idea of this is that we encourage you to place a review and do that at journeyryanlive.com on the website, because we want your feedback. We want to hear how you're going with the readings, what works for you, what you like about them. And of course, not just for me, but for all the psychics. So if you'd like to read a review, remember, go to journeyryanlive.com and you will be in the running to win a free 3-minute reading this Friday in the show Journey and Friends, and that's at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I do encourage you to leave a review on what you see, what you hear, what you feel, what feedback you have around the readings that you receive here at My Psychic Connection, because then you could be in the running to win that 3-minute live reading. Now, of course, there is a little bit of a rule around it. Only 1 review per day, please. Only 1 review per show. So remember that. But we've got so many psychics here. You can leave reviews for all of us. That would be absolutely wonderful. So something just a little bit new. I hope everyone has had a great week. I hope everyone is enjoying the coming week, because we're Tuesday night, Wednesday here in Australia for me. So we're coming up to that hump day, that halfway through the week. So I hope it is going well for you. Now let's talk about the readings. Now, as usual, we have our free 2-minute readings. They are 1 question only, and we need a specific question, not just what's ahead for me next week, but, you know, how does X feel about me, because I'm either in a relationship with X or I want to be in a relationship with X, that kind of thing. Now, of course, if you would like something a little longer and more in-depth, we do have our donated readings. So the donated readings are 3 minutes with 1 question. We also have a 5-minute donated general reading. Now, this is the only time, aside from maybe a competition, where I will do a general reading for you. You must donate for general readings, and just give me an indication of an area of life, because that means I can jump into it a lot quicker for you in terms of looking at the answer. We also have the mini and the mega readings. Now, they are untimed. They will take as long as they take. Now, remember, when you have a donated reading, you jump to the front of the queue, and with a mega reading, you go to that number 1 spot. So if you would like to dive deep into your question, I really recommend the donated readings. So some of the things that we can't do on the show tonight, we can't do medical or legal or related readings like that. They're a no-no. They are best left to the professionals, and in many countries, it is illegal for anyone other than a doctor or a lawyer to give you that kind of advice and give you that kind of insight. And when we do a reading, that's kind of what we're doing. So please remember, no medical, no pregnancy, no legal or related questions. So, for example, talking about an inheritance that's going through lawyers, that is a legal question. So just be aware of that. But aside from that, it's open slather on what you want to ask. Coming up later in the show, we've got the Colours of Life game. And of course, my colour theme tonight is beautiful silver. I feel quite sparkly with that in the background tonight. So without any further ado, let's go to our first reading and see who we have. Here we go. And we have our beautiful Gemma. Hi, Gemma. Lovely to see you here. And Gemma says, I have an appointment on Thursday. My nerves and anxiety are high about leaving the house and traveling there in a cab too. Can I have advice on how to try and keep as calm as possible while out? Now, that's an example of a really juicy, meaty question. And gosh, you know, our nerves and our anxiousness can get the better of us at times. So let's see how you can best stay calm. So let's have a look at this. So the first card I have out is the Knight of Cups reversed. This is saying to me, for you, don't focus on your emotions too much. I know that's easy to say when you feel a bit nervous and a bit anxious about something, but try not to dwell on it. Kind of put that to the back of your mind. I also have the Knight of Pentacles or coins. And this is saying to me, focus on the practicalities of what you need to do to get to your appointment. Focus on, you know, getting yourself dressed in the morning. Focus on what information you might need to take to the appointment. Focus on ordering the cab. Just focus on the practical things and stay in that zone, and that will help you from getting lost in your emotions, which is what has a tendency to happen when we get a bit nervous and a bit anxious. Now, the great news is I've got the King of Swords here. If you do those things, you've got this. The King of Swords is about thinking logically, rationally, coming from the mind more than the heart. And this is about taking a balanced, clear approach. The other thing you can do when you find yourself getting nervous is to slow your breath down, because when we get nervous and anxious, we breathe more quickly. That raises our blood pressure, it raises our heart rate, and then that gets us going into that kind of feeling. So one thing that you can easily do on the cab ride over to your appointment is to focus on your breath, just breathing in and breathing out. I wish you well with it. Thank you so much for your question. And you've got this. You've got this. Gosh, anxiety and nervousness. We wouldn't be human if at different points we didn't feel anxious or nervous about things. I'll let you into a little secret. Sometimes I get nervous about doing the live show, but that's when I do my breathing. That's when I focus on the practical things. And that can apply to all of us. You know, whenever you're feeling anxious, whenever you're feeling nervy, you can do that. You can slow your breath down, get your body relaxed, and then your mind and your emotions can follow. All right, let's move on to our next question, please. Who do we have? And we have Pooja. Hello, lovely to see you here. And Pooja, I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Is it Pooja or Pooja? I'm not sure, but anyway. Pooja asks, hello, I wanted to know why N has been reacting like he doesn't care for our connection. And what are his truest feelings for me that he hides? Again, this is another good, juicy, meaty question. So let's have a look at what is going on with N and your connection and his deepest feelings for you. So what have we got? Okay, the first card I have is the Three of Coins reversed. I feel at the moment that you're both not on the same page in terms of where you're at in this connection. I feel like you're kind of each doing your own thing. The reason I say that is this Three of Pentacles, when it's upright, is about teamwork. It's about working through things together. So I kind of feel like you're each doing your own thing and the connection isn't as strong as you would like it to be. I do feel that N is doing a lot of juggling at the moment. I've got the Two of Pentacles, and I also feel that N is a little bit undecided about how far they want to take this connection, this relationship, for want of a better word. So I feel like they're doing this at the moment. They're in and they're out. They're in and they're out. So I don't feel that N is actually sure themselves about what direction this is going to take. I've also got, let's see what we've got here. We've got the Nine of Wands. So I feel like there's energy that is being drained from this connection. I feel that it is not a strong enough connection yet. Now, in terms of his true feelings, let's have a look and see if I can get more information on that for you. So I'm going to go to a T coin or two. I've got the Key. And there are doors that can be opened between you and N. I feel it's partly a timing issue, and I feel like you're not at the same point. You're not on the same page, but there is opportunity there. I also have the Sword here. And represents stuff that needs to be let go of first. So I do hope that's of help. And thank you for your question. It is hard to know what's going on in someone else's heart and mind a lot of the time, isn't it? I've been married lots of years and I still on odd days go, I wonder if he feels the same way as me about this situation, or is it different? It's never easy. And I always come back and say to everyone, I tell this to myself as well, communication is the key. Open communication and the right timing. They're the two elements that can help move things forward. Thank you so much for your question. I do hope that has been of help, and I hope that little bit of information is helpful for everyone in the collective. All right, let's go on to our next question. I'm dying to see who's next. And we have Audrey. Hello, Audrey. Lovely to see you here. And Audrey says, hi, Innerji. I've got a kangaroo and a blue heart, my two favorites. Thank you. And Audrey asks, should I quit my current job and run a daycare while I work on studying for fostering? Also, I don't know how to manage working away from home with my 6-year-old, doing mainly virtual. I think that's the virtual school at home. Thanks. Yeah, you've got a lot on your plate at the moment, Audrey. So let's have a look at this idea of running your own business and quitting your day job. Let's see. Okay, I feel that it's not a good idea to do at the moment. I've got the 6 of Cups upright, and this is saying to me that the focus has to be on your child, your 6-year-old, and you need time to spend time with her with this virtual school. I know from the past that it's a fairly new thing, and so you need to put your time and energy into that. The real message that I'm getting is that don't spread yourself too thin. Don't try to do everything at once. There is time here for you, my dear. There is time. Focus on the priorities. I know that you're unhappy in your current job and you're desperately wanting a new one, but it's all about timing and priorities. And I feel that you need to spend that time at the moment focusing on your 6-year-old and the virtual school. I've also got the Queen of Cups here. Now, you're a very caring, nurturing soul, so I feel that doing this fostering course will be of help to you. I do not feel that this is the right time to quit your current job and try and start your own business. I feel it is going to be too much for you to try and cope with at the moment, because I've got the 2 of Swords here, and she's ready to strike, she's ready to make decisions, but she can't see her way forward, and I feel it will put too much pressure. Enough pressure on you already, and it's going to drain your energy. So think about what your priorities are and start with those. I do hope that's of help, and thank you so much for your question, and I hope your little one will do well at the virtual school. That sounds pretty awesome. Now, I wanted to talk a little bit about tonight's theme. We have silver, beautiful metallic silver. Silver is known as a color of being calm. It's a color of reflection. When we think about a full moon and we see that silver light being reflected from the full moon, that's what brings up this sense of reflection. Looking in the mirror is another meaning for this particular color. Sometimes we find it hard to look in the mirror at ourselves and reflect on our shadow side as well as our light side. And silver can give us the oomph and the courage to do that. It's also helpful with our intuition, tuning into our intuition. You know, there are many different belief systems around the world, historically and in modern times, around colours and their meaning. And historically, one of the colours for this colour silver was the moon, that reflection of the moon. And so it has been given a kind of, if you like, receptive quality to it, a kind of coming inward kind of quality. So when you think about silver, what does it mean for you? And are you a silver person? Is silver your favourite colour? Is it your favourite metal when it comes to jewellery? Pop that in the comments. I'd love to hear how that is for you. But a little bit more on silver and some crystals later. And Audrey says, okay, thank you. Audrey, my dear, you are so very welcome. I always love answering your questions. I love answering everyone's questions. So with that, let's go to the next question and see who we have. And we have Love. Hello, Love. I love that you use the name Love. There's never too much love in the world. And Love says, greetings, Innerji. How will I be able to strengthen my connection with H in the coming weeks, please, during this during THS. I'm sorry, I don't know what THS means, but let's focus on how will I be able to strengthen my connection with H in the coming weeks? Let's see. How can you strengthen that connection with H? And I do like how questions, because that's you not sitting back waiting for something to happen. You're ready to take action. And that is a really good space to be in. The first card I have out is the Six of Coins. And this is saying be generous with your time to increase this connection. Be generous with your communication. Be generous in doing things with H. Be there for H a little bit more. But keep the balance there. Don't be so generous that you forget to do things for yourself. But I do feel like there's a giving that needs to come from you in regard to H. I've also got the Magician reversed. So I feel like not everything is in place yet. I feel like there's a lot more communication that needs to happen with H for this connection to strengthen a little bit more. But it is looking very positive. I've got the Wheel of Fortune upright. The wheel is turning in your favor. It's a timing thing. Now, I want to have a little bit of a look at H in terms of this connection to see what we know there and what you can do. I feel that H is going through a little bit of a sad time at the moment, a little bit of a tough time. So they are kind of a little bit withdrawn and inward. I don't feel it's to do with you. I feel it's something else that's going on in their life. So this is where your generosity can come into play. This is where you can be there more for this person to help them with what's going on with them, even if it's just a friendly ear that listens. You know, we underestimate. And we've got the bell. I have to do a destiny cake. I got the bell. I'm so sorry I couldn't go further into that, but if you'd like more information, you could do a donation if you would like. Okay, so I do hope that's of help. And relationships. And Tremaine says, silver is my favorite. I never liked gold. Do you know, I crisscross between the two. I go with my mood when it comes to what colors and particularly what jewelry I wear. You know, I do love gold. I do love silver, but most of the time it's how I'm feeling. And of course, colors have vibration, have energy to them. And Tiffany says, I saw my favorite person in the mirror, so this makes sense to me. Yes, yes. You know, when we're gazing into a mirror, we're not just looking back at our physical selves. Spiritually, we can use gazing into a mirror to look at our inward selves and also to look at our spiritual connections as well. There is an old-fashioned thing I used to do many years ago in my early 20s, and I used to scry into a mirror, not to tell the future, but to connect with my spirit guides to see if I could see them in the mirror as opposed to just seeing them in that movie screen in my mind. It was quite an interesting process. It's a little bit scary at first, I can tell you. And Love says, awesome. All makes sense, Innerji. Thank you. Love, you are so welcome. And I just got to send you a little bit of a heart there because you are the love. All right. Let's go on to our next question, please. Who do we have? And we have Mahesh. Hello, Mahesh. Lovely to see you here. And Mahesh asks, what does Disha from the neighborhood think about me? Well, let's check in and see. Most amazing, beautiful names. Disha from the neighborhood. Let's see what we've got. Okay. So I feel that she's friendly. I've got the Three of Cups here, or the Three of Glasses. Mahesh says, hello, hello. And I've got the Three of Cups here, or the Three of Glasses in this case. And I do feel like, she's friendly. I feel like she's open and she's friendly and she likes to have fun. I do feel, though, that there's something going on in the background. So if you're considering Disha in terms of a future relationship, I feel that there is something going on in terms of her own emotional healing at the moment. So while she's friendly, she's kind of not ready to take things further, if that makes sense. I also have the Eight of Coins here, and this is about doing things. This is the practical things. So I feel like with Disha, in terms of her feelings, she's happy to do things with you. She's happy to be around you, but I don't feel like she's ready to step into what I would call a deep relationship or move into a romantic relationship because she has her own stuff going on right now. And let's do some T coins. And I've got the eagle. And the eagle is always saying, look at the big picture when it comes to this person. And her feelings to you, she's looking at things from the big picture as well. She's just not looking at you and potential relationship with you or friendship. She's looking at her life as a whole with that eagle eye. And I've got the teacup and the saucer. At the moment, she just wants to keep it friendly, you know, communication, bit of light-hearted talk, but nothing serious. So I do hope you found that to be of help, Mahesh. And thank you so much for your question. Quite a few relationship questions coming in already this evening. That's pretty amazing. So remember, if you are liking what you're seeing here tonight, remember you can leave a review at journeyryanlive.com. And if you do, you will go into the running to receive a free 3-minute reading this Friday on Journey and Friends, which is at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 10 a.m. Saturday Australian time. So don't miss out on that. All right, let's go on to Anne. And Mahesh says, thank you. You are so welcome. And it is time for the Colours of Life game. Okay, before the show, I chose a colour. So we've got about 3 minutes for you to start typing in now to guess the colour, or maybe you would like to tune in with your intuition and see what the colour is. I'm going to give you a little hint straight up. It is not a primary colour, if that makes sense. In other words, it's a mixture of 2 colours that creates a third one. So start typing and see if you can guess the colours of life for this evening. And while you're doing that, I'm going to talk a little bit more about the colour silver. Silver is a beautiful colour that I personally find very inspiring. I find the metal very inspiring. I find it very calming and soothing as a colour as well. I like to wear silver when I'm meditating. I like to have silver around me when I need to be calm, when I need to be at peace with myself. The other thing about silver is there's kind of a modern meaning to silver, because that's more like the traditional meaning. The more modern meaning to silver is it's a sign of being modern. Have a look at our technology. How much of our technology has silver colouring? Laptops, they're silver or black. And there's also a sense of affluence here, because like gold, silver represents affluence. It represents abundance. But this is like a quieter, softer abundance that comes through as well. Now, I hope you're typing in those colour guesses to see who's going to win a reading with me tonight. And of course, that's the only time I will be doing a general reading, unless you want to make a donated reading. We have our 5-minute general reading that is donated. All you need to do for that is to click on the link. But for the winner of this game, yes, you get something special, a little general divination from me. So keep going, keep going. Now, the other hint I'm going to give you about tonight's colour is it's the Latin word for water. So think about the colours and the shades that we use to describe water and see if that helps you out. Now, the other thing I wanted to talk about tonight with silver was a silver kind of crystal, and I am looking at hematite. Now, hematite's generally a black crystal, but when you see its reflection, has a bit of a silvery reflection. And this, oh, we've got a winner. We have Erica Serafina saying aqua. Yes, yay! Congratulations, Erica. That is awesome. So I am going to do a special reading just for you, and I'm going to use my hybrid deck and see what the message is, this beautiful combination of 2 decks. So let's see what we have. So I'm just going to get them shuffling for you. That was a little bit of a harder colour to guess tonight, wasn't it? But I wanted to test you. I wanted to test your intuition. And Erica Serafina goes, yeah, yes, I'm happy to read for you. I'm so excited. All right, here we go. You notice when I get excited, I get all sing-song. All right, here we go. So the first card I have for you, sir, is you are held, you are safe. It's all about safety. I feel that there's something that you're going through at the moment where you feel a little bit insecure, that you feel you're not 100% safe. Know that you are. Know that the security is there. It's wrapped like a cloak around you. I also have rebirth. And around this feeling of, not feeling completely safe, not feeling completely secure, This is about you stepping into something new, and that's what's bringing up this sense of insecurity and lack of safety, because when we are ready to go into something new, we're kind of stepping into the unknown in many ways, and that can be a bit scary. But this is saying, Erica says, I have been anxious. Yeah, and it shows through when we're anxious, we get into that, I don't feel so secure. But this is about letting go of old ties that bind, that don't help you, that are no longer there for you, that you don't need anymore. Sometimes to move forward, we have to let go of some things. So that's what I'm seeing there. And finally, I've got the wisdom card. Tune into your own wisdom around this. Know that this change that is happening with you is something that is going to lead you forward, and trust your own inner wisdom around it. So remember, it's a time to, yes, it's a little bit insecure at the moment, but sometimes that's just a feeling. And Erica says, I've met someone new too. Well, that's a rebirth in itself, stepping out into someone new in a new relationship as well. So I do hope you found that to be helpful. Move forward. You've got the rebirth and you have the wisdom to see it through. And congratulations, Erica, on being the winner of tonight's Colours of Life game. Woohoo, that was great. All right, let's move on to our next question, please. Who do we have? And we have Tremaine. Tremaine, when I apply for DACA advanced parole this year, will I be approved? That's kind of bordering on a legal question for me, Tremaine, because that's to do with parole, and I feel that borders too much into it. So if you would like to change your question and put something else up, I would love to answer that, but that's just getting just on the edge of being too legal for me. I'm so sorry, my dear. And Erica says, thank you. Erica, you are so welcome. And please do remember that we don't do any medical or legal or related questions around those areas, because they're best left to the professionals. So yeah, so if we could go on to our next question, please. And Erica says, hello, Miss Erica, back again. I met someone new. I think he's a good guy. I'm just worried that he's moving fast. What is the best way to approach this? Another great question. And will it be a good relationship? All right, let's ask if this will be a good relationship for you, this new connection that you have. Here we go. Let's see. All right, the first thing I see for you is that don't get too much in your head about this. Don't overanalyze this. Enjoy this new relationship for what it is at the moment. I've got the 9 of Cups here, and she's facing away from her emotions, and she's in her head. She's kind of imagining. Don't create things that aren't there yet. It's new. Enjoy the newness of it. If he is moving too fast for you, you have the free will to slow it down to your comfort level. And if this person is open to being in a relationship with you, they will understand that. I've got also the 10 of Cups reversed. So this is saying to me that, yeah, I feel like, yes, this person does want to move fast and you don't. And I feel that you need to stick to your guns on this, because I feel if it goes too fast, too soon, it could kind of fall apart. And I've also got the Ace of Swords here. And so this is about big new opportunities, big new beginnings. Focus on the communication. Focus on getting to know each other. And that is what you could possibly say to this person. Let's get to know each other before we jump too far ahead, before we try and jump into the future. Let's let it see where it goes and grow organically. Let's add some tea coins. And Erica says, okay. And with the tea coins, I've got the dragon. So this is saying stand in your power. Don't let the other person overwhelm you. I know it's new. I know it's exciting. And there's always that nice buzz that comes along with a new relationship. But if you're not feeling comfortable at the pace at which it's traveling, you need to stand in your own power. Will it be a good relationship? Only time will tell at this stage. I hope that's of help. Thank you so much for your question. And of course, being our winner tonight as well. Fantastic. Okay, now I was talking about hematite before we did our Colours of Life game. And hematite is a wonderful crystal. It's a wonderful crystal for grounding, for calming. And when we think about that colour silver and we want to be calm, in order to be calm, we need to ground ourselves. Now, this is a very dense, heavy crystal. Like you could hold two crystals of the same size and this one would feel a lot heavier. And so that's why I consider this a very strong grounding crystal. It's one that I like to use when I get caught too much in my head and I want to get back into my body as well. So it calms you when you're feeling troubled. It can help put your spirit at ease. It's also connected, I'm sure you already know this one, it's connected to the base chakra or the root chakra at the base of the spine. And so this is a great place to put this crystal if you want to ground yourself and get more connected with the earth. You know, put your feet on the earth, hold this at the base of your spine. And this also helps with that sense of security and survival. Remember I was saying a little earlier that there was someone who was feeling maybe a little bit insecure, a little bit unsafe. Hematite is a wonderful crystal for that. And it also is a reminder that we put one foot in front of the other, one at a time, stepping forward slowly, one foot in front of the other. So that's a little bit about hematite crystal. What crystals do you like to use that are related to the colour silver? They might not be coloured silver, but related to that groundedness, that feeling of safety and security. I'd love to see your comments come up about that and which crystals you are drawn to in that regard. Okay, let's go on to our next question, please. Who do we have? And we have Donna. Donna asks, good evening. My question is, I feel I am missing a spiritual message. Any thoughts? Well, I'm not going to go into mediumship for you because that is a specialist area and you need to donate if you want a mediumship question. But what I will do is I will answer if you feel whether you're missing a spiritual message or not. So let's have a little look. I can't tell you what the message is because that is a form of mediumship to me. So I feel that you are missing a message. I feel that you've got to tune in. I've got the Queen of Cups here. You need to get yourself emotionally centered. If you want to hear about spiritual messages direct, then you need to tune in. You need to get yourself calm and centered in your heart space. That is how you can move forward and be more open to seeing what's in your mind and what's around you. I feel you've got to be a little bit careful with spiritual messages, that you make sure that you check them out. In other words, like when I get spiritual messages through, I get sensations in my body that tells me it's not just my imagination or I'm not making up a story. So I feel that that's something you need to be aware of. The other thing with the spiritual messages is that, you know, you need to put the energy and the effort into seeing them, into hearing them, into acknowledging whatever it is. Sometimes a spiritual message is right in front of us in a very tangible form. For example, a lot of people will see feathers and that represents a spiritual message. It represents angels to them. Other people who has a loved one who's passed may hear a song on the radio that that person loved. That can be a spiritual message. So it's about opening up your eyes, your ears, your levels of awareness so that you can then be aware and more in tune when spiritual messages are coming your way. I do hope you found that to be of help. And thank you for that question, because it allowed me to talk a little bit about how I get my spiritual messages. We all get our spiritual, and Donna says, thank you. You are so welcome. You know, we get our spiritual messages in so many different ways, and we each have our own strengths around how we receive them. I'm strongly clairvoyant, so I have a huge movie screen in my head, and I see it like a movie screen in front of me. I'm also claircognizant, which means I have this inner knowing where words are put in my head. I don't hear them like clairaudience, which is hearing. I actually just have the words put in my brain for me to then tell you. So, yeah, do you have any clairs like that? Do you have any abilities or gifts that you would like to use more or that you're recognizing more? I would love to hear about your clairs as well. Okay, let's move on to our next question, please. Who do we have? And we have Cindy. Hello, beautiful Cindy. And Cindy says, good evening. Need to ask, it's been bothering me, not hearing from Jay at all. Is he done with me? Cindy, I'm going to just do a little, since I was talking about clairs, I'm going to take a little bit of a different approach with you. I'm just going to tune into Jay and just see what comes through. What am I sensing? Now, I get a no. He's not done with you. He's not done with you. He's not done with anyone. He just needs to focus on himself. That's where he's at. He needs to focus on himself. Now, I'm going to add some cards to that. So what have we got? I've got the Six of Cups. And I feel that a lot of the time there's a lot of reminiscing going on at the moment. And Cindy said, that's good. You're so welcome, my dear, for me to tell you that. I feel that there's a lot of reminiscing going on at the moment. I think Jay's doing a lot of reminiscing. He's trying to work out where he's at. He's got a lot going on. As you know, he's definitely got a lot going on. But I feel for you, you're kind of reminiscing about the past. You're missing him. You're remembering back to when things were more connected, when you were kind of more together as friends. And I feel that part of the problem is not knowing. I've got the Two of Swords again. This is coming up a lot tonight. And it's like not seeing what's happening, not knowing what's happening. That is what's really hard for you. And Cindy says yes. But, you know, we don't necessarily need to know about everything that's going on with someone else. Sometimes we just need to let them have that journey moving forward. And let's do some tea coins for you as well, Cindy. I've got the man symbol here, which is representing Jay, and I also have the symbol of the home. And so the way I'm seeing these two symbols is that he's focused on himself. He's focused on what's close to him physically. He's focused on what's around him physically, what's near to him at the moment. And so it's not that the connection is cut, it's just not the right time for it. And I encourage you just to let that go. Let it go and focus on what you need to do for you moving forward. I'm sending you much love because I know how hard this is for you, Cindy. My heart really goes out to you. And Corinna says, I think my clairs may be similar to yours, Innerji. Oh, how interesting. I'm always fascinated about everyone's clairs. So for you, Corinna, it's more that clairvoyance and claircognizance. And Lalima, what a beautiful name. Lalima says, I feel I have less developed clairvoyance and instinct. So a combination of the two. And don't disregard, and Cindy says, thank you so much. Sweetheart, you are so welcome. And don't disregard your instincts. Our instincts, those gut instincts, are a form of intuition. We feel them in our gut. That's why they're called gut instincts. But don't dismiss those as saying, oh, they're not one of the clairs. You can get a lot of truth and a lot of answers and a lot of direction by trusting your gut instincts as well and developing them a little bit more. It's something that's kind of hardwired into all of us. Okay, now remember, we've got some great shows coming up for the rest of this week. Live shows happen Monday through Thursday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and that's midday Australian time for my Aussie friends out there. And of course, Mondays, it's Psychic K, the Intuitive Empath. Here we are on Tuesday with me, Innerji The Metaphysical Crone. Wednesdays, it's We Psychic 3, yes, triple the treat and triple the readings with Psychic K, myself, and the beautiful Psychic Bunny in her gorgeous pink. And then Thursday, we have from the Cackling Witches, then our beautiful own Psychic Rose. And then we finish up the week at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 10 a.m. Aussie time, with Journey Ryan in Journey and Friends. So that's always so much fun. So get your drinks and your snacks ready for that one, because it definitely always goes for longer than an hour. Okay, so let's go on to our next question, please. Who do we have? And I just shuffle my deck. What happened to my grandpa, Peter de Conning, in 1998? So, Kelsey, I need a little bit more information than that. Do you mean that he passed? Do you mean that he's physically missing? Do you mean that something happened to him? So if you could give me a little bit more information than that, I will happily answer that question. But if you are asking about him passing to the other side, that is a mediumship question. And for mediumship questions, you have to make a donation. So I'm sorry about that, sweetheart. If you can expand on that question, if he's still with us, or if it's a situation that's happened to him, I can look at that for you. But if it's a mediumship, you need to donate. All right, let's move on to our next question, please. Who do we have? And Tiffany, hello, Tiffany. Tiffany asks, how does SP feel about me? It's a night for feelings, isn't it? And so to add more juicy to, oh, I like that, juicy. To add more juicy to the question, what is SP thinking about me? What are his deepest feelings? Does he still have feelings for you? Well, let's have a look at what's going on with SP with you. So let's see what we've got. Okay. I do think things are pretty quiet at the moment. I feel like there's been a strong connection in the past. I've got the 9 of coins here. So I do feel that there's been a strong connection in the past. And in the past, there was a lot of work that you both put into this connection that you have. But I feel that things have gone really, really quiet at the moment. And that is why you're answering the question. I've got the 10 of coins as well. I feel like this is someone you've known for a long time. This isn't just someone you met a month ago and, they're suddenly ghosting you or something. I feel like you've known this person for a long time. And so that's why you're asking. I do feel like things aren't on the up and up at the moment. I've got all coins. Have you noticed that? It's all coins. It's all about the practical stuff. So I feel like there isn't a strong physical connection at the moment in terms of him or she being in your life. I do feel that there is a strong disconnect. In terms of how this person is feeling about you, I've got the Queen of Pentacles reversed, or the Queen of Coins reversed. And this is saying to me that, they think about you, but I don't feel a strong connection there at all. I don't feel like they're actually highly focused on you at the moment. And let's do some T coins. I feel I've got the hourglass. And so it's saying that, you've just got to let this go its course, run its course through time to see what happens. I feel that with the home here, the house T coin, I feel like you've got to focus on you moving forward rather than feelings. Now, I know this is probably not the answer that you wanted to hear, but I do feel that there is a strong disconnect here, and to move it forward is going to take time. I do hope that's of help, and thank you so much for your question. That was another example of a great question, really well and truly. Now, there's a lot going on in the sky at the moment. Did you watch the Mythology of Astrology with our own beautiful Astro Squirrel? It was live last night. If you missed it, you can still watch it on YouTube only, because there is the recording there, and find out all about the story of Virgo. And there is a lot going on in the sky at the moment. We do have the sun moving into Virgo, and that is going to happen in a day or two. So we're into that Virgo season. But we also have the sun in opposition to Saturn. And I'm going to show you my astrology cards to demonstrate that. So they're in opposition to each other. So it means that the sun is on one side of the sky and Saturn is on the opposite side of the sky. And when we have an opposition, we get this push-pull thing happening. And so what we've got is Sun currently in Leo at the moment, and we've got Saturn in Pisces at the moment. Saturn is about that pulling in, that restriction, boundaries. Sun in Leo at the moment is about fun and out there and doing. So there is a bit of a push-pull going on between our responsibilities, what we have to do, as opposed to what we want to do. Now, Saturn is also retrograde at the moment as well. And so with Saturn being retrograde, it's old responsibilities that are raising up again. So responsibilities that you haven't dealt with before are resurfacing again. But the sun in Leo says, but I don't want to do that. I want to play. So what I would suggest to you is maybe deal with those responsibilities so that you can play. And then when the sun moves into Virgo, you're ready to handle all the details. You're ready to get it done and make it happen. So I do hope you found that little bit of energies in the sky of interest. And don't forget, we've got the Mythology of Astrology with the story of Virgo with our beautiful Astro Squirrel on YouTube. Okay, let's move on to our next question, please. Who do we have? And we have Tracy. Hello, Tracy. I love your photo. You're very pretty. I love everyone's photos. So nice to see. Put a face to a name. I really like that. All right, Tracy asks, do you see me getting into a relationship with someone soon, please? I'm single. Let's have a look for you, Tracy, around a potential relationship and see where that might be. Well, I can see you're dreaming of it. I've got the 4 of Cups, and I do see you looking out into the distance. It's something that you really want. Your heart needs it. You're feeling a little bit on the lonely side at the moment. You know, there are many people who are single who are not lonely, who don't feel the need to be in a relationship, but you do. You want that companionship. You want that special someone to be with you. And so you're kind of dreaming about it at the moment. I've got the Queen of Swords here. And so this is saying to me that it's about you making a decision to stop dreaming and start doing. I know that sounds a little bit harsh, but, if we sit back and just wait for someone to come into our lives, we could be waiting for a heck of a long time. So deciding that, yes, this is definitely what I want, and having a plan about how you can go about meeting someone. I do feel that, though, there's some heart things that you need to have a little bit of healing on. I've got the Three of Swords. Now, when people see the Three of Swords, all they see is the broken heart. But this is swords. Remember, swords are about our planning, our strategy, our thinking, our logical thinking. And that, in relation to a hurting heart, can get in the way of you opening up to meeting someone new. Will you meet someone new soon? Well, soon's a relative term, but I do have the Wheel of Fortune upright, and I feel that things are in your favor. What's being put into my head is look at about 3 to 4 months from now. You've still got a little bit of self-healing. You've got to learn to trust again, and that's hard for you, learning to trust again. So a little bit of self-healing around previous, and someone in the offing in about 3 to 4 months. I do hope you find that to be of help. Oh, the hour's going fast tonight, isn't it? It's time for the mystic message. Where did that come from? Wow. So tonight's mystic message, I am going to use my What If deck. I love using this deck because it gets us thinking as opposed to just receiving an answer and acting on it. So our What If deck question for today is, oh, this is a hard one. What if I thank my fear? Have you ever done that? I haven't. This is one that's going to really make me think. What if I said thank you to my fear? We think of fear as something horrible. We think of fear as something that gets in the way of what we want, stops us from doing what we want because we get scared. But what if we said thank you to that fear? Because fear also has a very, very strong purpose in our lives. Learning how to handle our fear is the hard part, and learning to understand that when fear is necessary. Fear is necessary so that we don't go and walk off a cliff without looking where we're going. Fear is necessary as a means of survival. You think back to the old cave days, and we have the ancient cave person, and then we have the tiger that's going to attack. We get frightened. What do we do when we get frightened? We either run or we fight or we freeze. There are 3 options there. So fear actually serves a purpose. So I encourage you to look at when you're feeling fearful, is it helping you avoid something that you should avoid? Is it getting in the way of something you should be doing? Either way, what if you offered gratitude to that fear and the role that it plays in your life? Because fear does have a role to play. It stops us from doing silly things. It stops us from doing things that might be dangerous to ourselves and to others. So I encourage you, think about that one. What if I said thank you to my fear after I've looked at it and thought about how it's serving me or not serving me? I hope you found tonight's mystic message of help, something a little bit different there. And as I said, I absolutely love this deck because with the what ifs, we're so busy caught up in the what if it doesn't work kind of outlook in life. But what if something does work? They're the what if questions that I like to consider. How about you? What are some of the what ifs in your life that you could look at in a different way? What if I was brave enough to do something new? What if I was confident enough to apply for that job? Share some of your what ifs in the comments. I'd love to hear what they are. Okay, let's move on to our next question, please. Who do we have? And we have Lynn. Hi, Lynn. Lovely to see you here. Lynn says, I put applications in for several apartments and hoping the one I really want calls soon. Will it be the one I want, and roughly how soon, please and thank you? Great question. So you've been putting in the work there, Lynn. You've been putting in your applications. You haven't been sitting back waiting for it to happen to you. That's awesome. So let's see how I'm going to look at the one you want and see how that is looking. Things are looking pretty positive for it at the moment. I've got the Lover's card. And when the Lovers card comes up and it's not in regard to romantic relationships, I see it as choices and balance. So I feel that it's a little bit in the balance, but it's kind of leaning your way at the moment. However, I feel that there's something unfinished here. I feel that there hasn't been a decision made by the people who are obviously looking at all the applications. And I feel like there's still something a little bit missing that might not go in your favor. But I feel it can be overcome because I have the Nine of Cups here. This is wishes fulfilled. So I feel that this one that you particularly want, I feel it's looking good, but there's going to be some little hurdle that needs to be overcome in order to make it happen. Now, in terms of timing, let's see what we can do with that for you with timing. And I feel it's going to take a little bit of a while. I've got the Death card reversed. So this is saying that they're still mulling it over. It's still going to take some time. I feel it's at least a month away. That's the number that was put in my head. I feel the decision is at least a month away. So I will ask you to be patient about it and just double check that your application, that you've got everything filled out in it correctly, that there's nothing missing, and that might just get you over that hurdle. I do hope you found that to be of help. Thank you so much for your question, and I do wish you well in getting the apartment that you would love to have. It's funny how things work out, you know. Before I moved to where I'm living now, I fell in love with this little house. It was small but perfectly formed in my eyes. And I took photos of it. I had it on my phone. I wanted to manifest it. And the timing wasn't right for me to purchase that house. And the house that I'm in now is almost like a better version of that house. So keep in mind that sometimes the thing that we want the most, if it doesn't happen for us, it can mean there's something even better around the corner. And I'm now living in what I call my beautiful dream home, my little paradise hideaway. All right, let's move on to our next question, please. Who do we have? Oh, wow, we have a donation. Thank you so much. That's wonderful. So we have a donation. I'll just double check. That's a 3-minute reading, I think. Yes, my old eyes get in the way sometimes. So Glenifa is asking for her reading. Will I stay in my current job or will they fire me and give me my severance? Well, let's just have a look at how things are going with this current job of yours and whether this might occur for you. So we're just shuffling the deck and I'm tuning in. Well, there's definitely a lot going on in your job at the moment. There's been a lot of kerfuffle. That's my word for it. There's been a lot going on. There's been a lot of toing and froing. There's been a lot of angst. I'm feeling quite anxious within myself. I'm getting that sense from you. There's a lot of anxiety. There's been a lot of pointing of fingers as well, is what I'm sensing around this. But let's get some cards out and see how things might move forward. I do feel like at the moment there's no change. I've got the Knight of Pentacles reversed, and the Knights are all about movement and on the quest for the purpose, the Holy Grail. And I feel like a decision has not been made as yet. It's being looked at, but it's not been made. I do feel it's not looking overly hopeful. I do have the King of Swords reversed. And so this is saying to me that I feel that the decision might not be in your favor. But I've also got the Hanged Man reversed. And so this is about you sticking to your guns, sticking to the truth of the matter. I feel that there's been a lot of stories going around this situation that is leading to this decision being made. So it's about you sticking to your truth no matter what. Let's add some T coins to this and see what we've got. I've got the home, and the house symbol here isn't just about a physical house. This is about you being comfortable with you. I feel like there is something new on the horizon coming for you beyond this particular job. I feel the issue has gone too far and it can't be wound back. It can't be redeemed. So let's have a look at what's ahead for you in regard to that as well. In some ways, if this doesn't work out in your favor, and that's the kind of energy I've got at the moment, it's almost like a blessing in disguise, because this is the Emperor reversed, and this is saying to me that you won't have to push so hard But this is also saying to me with this world card that there's a big wide world out there for you, and it's time for you to start looking further afield. Perhaps start looking now rather than waiting for this decision to come. That way you'll be ready and prepared if it goes not in your favor, which is the way it's looking, I'm sorry to say. And I've got the Four of Swords reversed as well. So this is about you putting your energy into opening up your world, into looking at what other potential jobs are out there for you. It's getting prepared. It's like be a Girl Guide or a Boy Scout. This is about you being prepared. When the decision comes down, you're ready to act. You're ready to move on. I'm sorry it wasn't better news. I do hope you found that to be a little bit of help. But because we're on a colour theme tonight, look for the silver lining in the cloud. I do hope that's of help. Thank you so much for your donation. It is so appreciated. Donations help this platform stay live. It helps us all here at My Psychic Connection. So we really appreciate any donations that do come in. And of course, don't forget, you can leave reviews. And Glenifa says, thank you. Glenifa, you're so welcome, my dear. I wish you well with it because I know it is an anxious time. Now, remember, you can put up a review on the readings that all of the psychics here do at My Psychic Connection. Of course, we've got our competition. If you leave a review, you go to journeyryanlive.com onto the website, leave your review. And then this Friday on Journey Ryan and Friends, you will be in the running to win a 3-minute reading for doing that. Now, remember, only one review per day, please. But there are so many shows that go on during the week. You can certainly put all your reviews in, whether it be for Psychic K, myself, We Psychics 3 with Kay, myself and Bunny, or with our beautiful Rose, with Squirrel with her astrology and her transits and all sorts of things. So we encourage you to put in those reviews. Okay, we are up to the last question for the evening. My gosh, it has swum past, hasn't it? Is there such a word, swam? I'm just so excited. I'm getting my words all tangled up. All right, let's see who we have for the last question, please. And we have Lilima. Lilima says, guidance on the career path meant for me being a doctor. Confused in various options in India or to go to Dubai seeking clarity. What's my right path? Well, Lilima, the thing about paths in life are there is no right path or wrong path. There are choices. And it looks to me like you have a lot of choices. So I'm going to compare the choices between India and Dubai for you. So I'm going to put up a couple of for India and a couple for Dubai. And I'm going to put out a third option as well. So for India, I feel like there's an opportunity there that will come quickly, but I feel it's not something that sits well with you. I've got that Queen of Cups reversed with the Tower. And so this is kind of saying to me that, yes, there's opportunities in India, but it's not really what you want. It's almost like I'll take it if it's offered to me, but I want something else. When I look at Dubai, I feel that Dubai might not necessarily be the right place for you either. I've got the Six of Cups reversed and the Two of Swords reversed. However, having said that, I do feel like it would be a good stepping stone as opposed to something that's long term. I feel that there is something else out there for you in the longer term, in the future. I feel another country, a different country, because I have what's this one? I have the Nine of Wands reversed, and I also have the Page of Pentacles. So I see that down the track, there is a different choice. There is a third choice for you that you can look at that will offer a new beginning for you, something very practical, something that will open up and grow slowly, and that will release the burdens that are there at the moment. So I feel that India is not looking so good, even though there are options there, but it doesn't feed your heart and your soul. I feel Dubai, there are options there, but again, I feel it more like a potential short term. Look out for a third option. I encourage you to try and look into a third option and see what that brings, see how you feel about that. Thank you for that question. I really appreciate it. It was a really good one. I love doing career questions, and I do wish you well with your journey as a doctor. Well, there we have it. End of yet another show. I can't believe it. Don't forget our live shows Monday through Thursday, 10 p.m. Monday, Psychic K, Tuesday, me, Wednesday, We Psychics 3, Thursday Psychic Rose, Friday 8 p.m. Eastern Standard, Journey and Friends. Don't miss out on any of those shows. And of course, all of our YouTube content, which we have heaps and more coming along. I hope everyone has a wonderful week. Many blessings to you. Until next time.